Hello, everyone. It is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. Please give me one moment to get everything set up because this video is going to have the wrong information set up on it. I still haven't figured out how to fix that with OBS. If you start up a stream, it'll just give it the name of the last stream. Boom, 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 boom. I need to ask Aiden about it. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, snap! But this name is just correct. Because the last stream we did was probably AI Dungeon 2. So this is fine. I can rock with this. Awesome. This is what I want. No complaints. That actually was really good. Oh, well, I guess there is one more thing that I would need to do. I would need to attach the live chat. That's the only thing I haven't set up. And I guess figure out where to put my face. Because right now my face is in the way, and I actually don't know where you could put your face on an AI Dungeon 2 stream where it's not blocking something. So maybe my face will go here, and maybe the chat will go here. So I do still need to, at the very least, set that up. So give me one moment to do that. And then we should be good. So I apologize for the wait, but I started a couple minutes early to make sure that I would have time to get things set up, and it looks like there's less that I have to get set up than what I originally thought. Hey yo, hey yo 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 yo. So let's see. I just got up from a nap, so I may seem a little sleepy. But that is okay because we are awake now. Okay. So now all I need to do is add the chat through OBS. So where is it at? There we go. And let me scoot the chat over here. Yeah, it's hard to figure out like how to size everything because I don't know what will be like a good size for everything. Let me change it from top chat to live chat. That way I can see all the messages. Okay. I mean, it seemed like we should be straight. The information on the stream is correct, and the live chat's up on the stream. I think the only thing I could do right now to make this experience better for myself would be to plug in my computer and maybe to set up like some background music. I think that could be cool as well. How's everybody doing today? Definitely let me know how everybody's feeling in the live chat. So I am going to scoot the live chat window onto another screen. That'll just make it a little bit easier to manage. And I guess we're going to keep this display how it is for now and move things accordingly if we need to. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Did it freeze? I can't tell if it's still updating the way it should because it looks like my head is frozen on the stream, which would not be good. So I'm going to start typing. I'm going to see if that changes with anything. If I'm not mistaken, the stream is frozen. Which that sucks, because I was like, oh, the stream went easier than normal. I don't have to change anything. But now it just seems like the stream's frozen. So that's never good. Oh, that's really weird. So I'm like trying to play around with it and see if I can interact with it. I just can't do anything with the stream. It's just frozen now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's crazy. The stream may not be frozen after all. So if I try to look at the stream through HDMI and I drag it over to another screen, it just stops working from my perspective, but from your perspective, it's probably fine. But then that means me dragging it to another screen in order to monitor it uh, will only somewhat help. But anyways, everything's working fine. Nothing's wrong. I'm going to add Jet. Join the adventure. And then, oh, they have an invite link now. That's cool. I like that. That might be better than the previous system that they had. Matter of fact, let me copy not just the link, but the whole little blurb that it has. That seems pretty cool. So there we go. Now people can go to that link in the live chat. I went for a fantasy adventure because Godzilla, last time I talked to him, said that he was hyped for us to do like fantasy. I think in the past we talked about how it's just superior to be able to do cyberpunk, because cyberpunk lets you do futuristic stuff. It lets you do like kind of fantasy stuff. It lets you do like modern day stuff. Like you can kind of play it as crazy or as straight as you want. But hey, to each their own. It doesn't seem like anybody's active on the stream. I remember Godzilla was really hyped for it, but it is really easy to miss a stream. I guess I'll just start playing it on my own, and then people will be able to join through the link in the live chat just whenever. Our story begins with a group of adventurers living in the medieval kingdom of Larion. The kingdom is filled with small villages and thatched cottages and has been relatively peaceful until now. The adventurers are on a quest to find the magical staff of Zalos. They walk through the forest and notice a band of mountain dwarves. The dwarves are friendly and offer them food and drink. Then one of the dwarves turns to them and accuses you all, claiming that they have stolen his wife from him. He claims he will kill every single person in your party if they do not return her immediately, or else he will turn against their allies as well. Okay, so we have been accused of stealing the dwarves' wives. How petty of this dwarf to assume that I would want his maiden. I wonder if I can say that. I mean, I know I can say anything. How petty of you to assume that I want your maiden. We will be on our way. The dwarf refuses to believe that you did this, but the rest of your party does. You quickly leave the village and head towards the mountains, where you expect to see more dwarves. However, there is no sign of any other travelers. Well, it looks like I was able to convince the dwarf into believing that we didn't take his wife. But then the rest of the party is like, yo, you definitely took his wife, which is interesting. Then we leave the village and we head to the mountains, but it doesn't seem like there are any other travelers in the mountains. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around for the magical staff of Zalos, since that's what we're supposed to be looking for. Let's see if we can, like, solve this mystery. You decide to search for the staff in the mountains. You know it must be somewhere in those hills, so you set off into the hills. As you travel through the hills, you hear strange noises coming from some of the trees. Interesting. Also, let me check to see if there's any weird stuff going on with the live chat. No, nothing weird is going on. The only weird thing is from the OBS window. The OBS window doesn't update when I have it on the other screen, but it does when I have it on my main screen. So, I don't know. I guess people just didn't get notified that we were doing AI Dungeon 2, which sucks. But it'll be fine. So we know it's somewhere in the hills, so we're in the hills, and we hear strange noises coming from the trees. Okay. I'm going to ask, Who goes there? You stop at an old abandoned house. Its roof is missing and the walls are crumbling. There's a door leading out onto the porch, but nobody lives here anymore. Okay. I was originally yelling because of the strange noises coming from the trees. I guess we found a little house. That's cute. That doesn't tell me anything about the strange noises coming from the trees. I'm going to listen closely to the strange noises coming from the trees. Maybe whoever lives in this abandoned house is currently chilling in the trees. Maybe looking for apples or something. As you continue walking, you hear strange sounds coming from the trees. Sounds like a child playing in the woods. You can't tell what it is exactly, but you know it isn't human. You continue to go deeper into the hills and eventually come across a large cave system. So, a non-human child playing in the woods. Why did I describe that as strange? Like, I wonder what this, creature is and how it sounds. But we found a large cave system. Is the magical staff of Zalos in the cave system? I'm going to say that out loud. You enter the cave system and soon find yourself in a large cavernous room. A few torches illuminate the area, which is lit by a dim orange glow from some sort of natural gas lanterns hanging high above you. Oh, so we're in a room. I imagine somebody else is here then. You know what I mean? I mean, these are natural gas lanterns, but I imagine these are lanterns that somebody set up. Are we in a mine or something? I'm gonna say, hello? A voice comes from behind you. It seems to come from far away, but then again, who knows how far. You turn around and see a tall humanoid figure standing behind you. He wears a robe made of dark blue cloth with golden trimming and holds a staff covered in runes. Is that staff you are holding the magical staff of Zalos? The figure nods his head and smiles as he speaks. He introduces himself as Doct, a wizard who lives in the nearby village of Harakurt. He tells you that the staff is very powerful and could grant your entire party great power if used properly. Nice! I mean, this is supposed to be a multiplayer mission, but it seems like we're about to just, win. Can we please have the magical staff of Zalos? I'm just gonna ask nicely for it. Doctor looks at you for a moment and then nods his head. He points to the cave ahead of you and tells you that this is where the staff lies. I'm gonna say, can you hand me your staff? Well, can you hand me the staff that you are currently holding? Since he said the staff that he had was the staff of Zalos a moment ago. Doctor looks back at the cave ahead of him and shakes his head. He says that the staff would be dangerous to carry all by itself, so he will need to take it along with you. You nod your head and say yes, you'll take it with you. He looks at the cave ahead and shakes his head. He says that the staff would be dangerous to carry by itself, so he will need to take it along with you. You nod your head and say yes, you'll take it with you. I I feel like the AI is a little confused, but I also feel like I can take advantage of this. Godzilla said, question, what is the setting? This is a fantasy setting, because that's what you requested earlier, Godzilla. Also, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics that you'd like to talk about on the stream? I hope that you're having a wonderful day so far. I'm going to take the magical staff of Zalos from Doc. Doc hands you the magical staff. You look at it for a moment and feel its magic aura. It feels like nothing else you've ever felt before. You hold the magical staff tightly in your hand and look up at the ceiling of the cave. Aw snap! We did it! We have the magical staff of Zalos. You shout out loud and smile. The rest of your party joins in the celebration. Nice. So Godzilla, to fill you in, this campaign was a fantasy campaign that the AI generated for multiplayer. We're a group of adventurers in the medieval kingdom of Larion. The kingdom's filled with small villages and thatched cottages and has been relatively peaceful until now. We're on a quest to find the magical staff of Zalos. We ran into some dwarves. The dwarves were like, hey, you stole my wife. I was like, you guys are being petty. We went into the hills. We heard inhuman children playing in the woods. And we found an abandoned house. We then found a cave system. We went into the caves. We found this wizard named Doct. And I'm like, yo, Doct, is that staff that you're holding the magical staff of Zalos? And he was like, yeah, if you're looking for the magical staff of Zalos, go down this like tunnel in the cave. And I'm like, well, you're holding the magical staff of Zalos, so I don't have to go down a tunnel in the cave. Can I just have your staff, please? And then he's like, it'd be dangerous to hold my staff by itself. I'll need you to have the staff with me or some weird thing like that. And I was like, I'm just going to take the staff. And now I have the staff. I'm like, we got the staff, and everybody's celebrating. That's where we left off. Godzilla said, I'm Harry Longtooth. I'm a werewolf. Godzilla, click on that link in the live chat if you want to join in on this AI Dungeon 2 adventure. Because that's how it works now. And I think that's a cool way for them to do it. Okay. I'm going to say, what do we do now? I mean, we kind of accomplished our goal. We have the staff. A large tentacle creature suddenly materializes above their heads. It grabs onto Jet and hurls him into the air. His body slams against a rock wall, causing him to scream in pain. Oh shit. Okay, so there's now a tentacle monster here. So things got real quick. Attempts to banish the tentacle monster using the magical staff of Zalos. Goodness. Godzilla said, I did join. Oh, cool. How do I see where you are? Like, how can I tell that you've joined? Oh, oh shit. I just saw your thing. I don't know how I missed this. So, Harry Longtooth enters the cave. Harry Longtooth enters the cave, first followed by Jet. As soon as they enter, they hear strange noises coming from above. What's going on? Asked Jet. And then Jet said, what do we do now? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that you were here. I like missed your turn. But that explains why I looked up at the ceiling. I didn't know why I looked up at the ceiling earlier. Okay. Let's see. The tentacle monster grabs onto the magical staff of Zalos and tries to use it to banish himself. However, Jet manages to grab onto the tentacle monster's tentacles and pull off of him. Oh, and pull them off of him. Okay, so now the monster has the staff. I don't like that. Attempt to wrestle the magical staff of Zalos away from the tentacle monster. So, Godzilla, is it a thing now where we can take turns whenever we want? Oh, yo, check this out. Harry Longtooth becomes a werewolf and attacks the tentacle monster. The tentacle monster tries to escape, but Harry Longtooth is able to turn into a werewolf and attack the creature. The creature falls down dead and dies. Harry Longtooth says, "Roar!" You yell out in joy and celebrate. So I didn't see any of that action when I took my action, so it's already dead, but I'm attempting to wrestle the magical staff away from, I guess, the dead tentacle monster. As soon as Jet grabs the magical staff, he's thrown back against a tree trunk. He screams in agony and yells out in pain. He looks up at you and smiles. You then see him grab onto the tentacle monster's tentacles, which are still attached to him. Well, hold on. Can I undo my last thing? Because my last thing doesn't make any sense. Godzilla said, "What? I attacked the monster." And then he said, "Yes." So hold on. Let me undo my last thing. Wait. It's like it undid what the AI said, but it didn't undo what I did. I want to undo what I did. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now we should all be on the same page. So what I'm going to do is high five Harry Longtooth. Jet high fives Harry Longtooth. Jet smiles and high fives Harry Longtooth. You then see the rest of your party members also high fiving each other. I'm going to pick up the magical staff of Zalos. I need to say picks up. Harry Longtooth says, "Me pack was all killed by mean monster. Me need new pack." Hey, okay. I'm gonna say, "Feel free to join the party." Harry Longtooth. Jet picks up the... Oh, wait, hold up. You look at the others and you realize that this is not right. This is not how you want to spend your life. You decide to leave the party and go home. What? What? Why is the AI just doing random shit? I'm not leaving the party to go home. I'm picking up that magical staff of Zalos. You pick up the magical staff of Zalos and feel its power. You then throw it at the tentacle monster. It hits him directly in the head, killing him instantly. The AI is doing a whole bunch of fuckity shit. The tentacle monster is already dead. Jet says, "Feel free to join the party, Harry Longtooth." You say yes, and Jet tells you to come back later when he needs more help. You follow Jet outside where he introduces you to everyone else. They all laugh at your joke about being killed by a tentacle monster. Oh, the AI is like losing its mind. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? So... the AI is all sorts of confused. I'm curious what I should do at the moment. I wonder if I can do something that will confirm that everything is fine. Jet decides to rejoin the party. So I'm gonna keep the part where it said that I left the party. And I'm gonna say I decide to rejoin the party, so I'm back. Jet picks back up the magical staff of Zalos. Okay? And then I'm also going to confirm that the tentacle monster is actually dead. Just so that we can get past those weird hangups. Ryan said, AI be like, "But what if you left, went home, slept, and it was all a dream?" Let's see. Harry Longtooth joins the party. You agree, and Jet asks if you have any questions. You tell him that you just wanted to know why they were killing each other. Harry Longtooth says, "What is Pack?" Harry Longtooth says, "What is Pack's goal?" The others are surprised by your answer. Jet explains that they are hunting for the Staff of Zalos, which will allow them to become immortal like their god. That's what the Staff of Zalos lets us do? Godzilla said Bed Tundi. He said fucking Bed Tundi. Jet decides to rejoin the party. Jet picks back up the magical Staff of Zalos. Jet confirms that the cynical monster is actually dead. Okay. So I think I've undone all the weird stuff that the AI said. Because the AI was like, I leave, and that I'm not in the party anymore, and then I threw the staff, and that the tentacle monster died. Rocky Ford said, "Hi there, he's doing good. He wants to talk about, well, hold up, I'm trying to remember my questions. How's your day-to-day? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics?" Okay, so Rocky Ford said, "Hi there." He says he's doing good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Rocky Ford. He says that he wants to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! What do I like about Master Rules 5? And he doesn't have any discussion topics. So I've been feeling Rush Duels. I don't really care about Master Rules 5. I haven't even really been playing Master Rules 5. I've been like only really doing Rush Duels. What are your thoughts on Master Rules 5? What should we do now? Now that we have the Staff of Zalos. I'm gonna say, I guess we are all immortal now. I mean, I got thrown into like a cave and into like a tree and I was fine. So that was cool. Oh shit. Is this what the Bed Tundi thing was? Bed Tundi joins the game in an explosive way. You join the game and blast the monster with magic fireballs. The monsters die quickly, but you feel drained. You start to wonder what exactly is going on here. You ask Jet about the strange world and he tells you that he doesn't really understand it either. Harry Longtooth burps. You hear a loud farting noise from behind you. You turn around and see Harry Longtooth burping loudly. You can't believe your eyes. This guy is actually a real person. What a weird line. Jet says, "I guess we're all immortal now." You both laugh and Jet gives you a big hug. You thank him profusely and kiss him before leaving the camp. You arrive at the city of Neuro, where you meet up with some other players. You all enter a tavern called the Dragonfly Inn. Other players? Is this meta? The way that, like, Bed Tundi entered the world made it feel like a game, too. And what monsters did he kill? This is getting, like, really crazy, really fast. Rocky Ford said, "I'm still waiting for the Rush Duel cards to come to the TCG sometime. They're on Dueling Nexus if you want to do Rush Duel stuff." Rocky Ford said, "Master Rules 5, Fusion Synchros, and XYZs can be summoned back to the main monster zones once again." I'm aware. I just don't really care. Rocky Ford said, "Of course, the extra monster zone is also still available." Again, I'm aware. It's just, it feels like such a minor change while Rush Duels are changing up the game. Like, to me, in a more significant way. Let's see. I'm gonna ask, do they serve milkshakes here at the Dragonfly Inn? Oh gosh. Oh, this is gonna be weird. Silith Black said, "Whoa, nice one." Silith Black, a human wizard, joins the game. You all sit down and talk about your adventures. You learn that there is another player named Jet, who is also a wizard. I guess I'm a wizard. Batman's dick punches Jet. Batman punches Jet. You look at Jet and say, "You're not a wizard, are you?" He replies, "No, I'm just a normal guy." Which that sounds pretty legit. I do think I'm just a normal guy who has the Staff of Zalos. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a wizard. Jet says, "Do they serve milkshakes here at the Dragonfly Inn?" You all agree, and Jet orders a milkshake. It's interesting to ask a question and people agree, but that's not really what you're asking. Hey, do they serve milkshakes here? Yeah, uh-huh. I guess that is how that went. They were just saying, yeah, they do. So, we order a milkshake. The next day, you leave the inn and head towards the nearest town. You get lost several times trying to figure out how to get home, so you decide to go back to the Dragonfly Inn. We don't know how to get back home. We're immortal, but we're easily lost. Godzilla said, this is going. Ford said, this new rule does not apply to Pendulum and Link, as they still need to follow their old ruling. I'm aware of the Master Rule 5 rules. Like, it's not that I don't know what Master Rules 5 is. I just don't care, because I think rush duels are just more interesting. Let's see. But I'm glad that you're hype about Master Rules 5. Is there anything that's happened in Master Rules 5, like with the rules changes, that have led to like cool dueling moments for you that feel significantly different from like Master Rule 4? So we left the inn. I'm going to visit, I'm going to buy a map. I'm going to buy a map of Larion. Because if we get a map, then we don't have to worry about getting lost anymore. Godzilla said, this story is going really, really strangely. He said I'm a werewolf and I'm kissing some guy. Well, let me get caught up with what's going on with the weird kissing stuff. How far back am I? Where am I at? I hit enter and it seemed like a whole bunch of actions had happened. Bed Tundi buys a whiskey. You buy a bottle of whiskey for 5 gold coins. After drinking the whiskey, you wake up in your tent, feeling very drunk. You have no idea where you are, or even if you're still alive when you're in the fucking underworld tent. Harry Longtooth eats a bad guy. You suddenly feel like you want to kill someone. You think maybe you should do it. You run over to the nearby tree and jump off into the bushes. Harry Longtooth eats a bad guy. You jump off the tree and land right in front of a dwarf wearing nothing but his underwear. He looks at you with disgust and then runs away as fast as he can. Underwear dwarfs, right? Batman's dick slaps Jet. You grab the dwarf by the scruff and smack him across the face. He falls backwards onto his ass and screams in pain. You laugh at this and continue to play. Harry Longtooth chases him. You chase after the dwarf. You catch up to him and throw a rock at his feet. It hits him hard and sends him flying into the air. Imagine getting hit in the foot with a rock and then being like, ah! You just shoot up into the air. That's so weird. Okay. He lands heavily on his behind, which makes you smile. Harry Longtooth says, woo! You start laughing again when you see the dwarf fall from the sky. I thought he already fell. He laughs and tries to stand up, but he doesn't make much progress. He starts crying out in pain and begs for help. Bed Tundi talks to Harry about philosophy. You ask Harry what he thinks about all this. He tells you that he is happy to be alive and that the world would be a better place without war. Interesting. Real quick, I'm skipping a music ad. It's gonna take me a minute to catch up. I feel like I only ever see what you guys say after I do something. But then I read, so it takes me a minute before I do anything. So it's interesting. So where are we at? Batman's dick fights about philosophy. You tell Harry that you think war is wrong and that he shouldn't follow his heart. He agrees with you and punches you in the face several times. The two of you argue back and forth for quite some time before eventually falling asleep together in each other's arms. Harry Longtooth says, "Me like war, though." You wake up to find Harry Longtooth sleeping next to you. You go over to him and give him a kiss. He smiles at you and kisses back. Silith Black comments about the nihilistic reality of life. You tell Harry that you agree with him completely. Silith Black comes up to you and asks if you want to join forces against the Necromancer Lord. Hey, we're getting some cool stuff. Batman's dick says war is hell. Ryan, how many of these characters are you? How many people are you playing? He says, you say no to Silith Black and instead decide to go back home. What? What? No, the Necromancer Lord. Let's do that. On your way there, you run into a couple of bandits. One of them points their gun at you. Oh, there are guns in this medieval world? And demands money or they'll shoot you on sight. Jet buys a map of Larion. You grab a map off the ground and read it. It shows you where to get water, food, medicine, and other supplies. You also learn that the nearest town is called Larion. The whole kingdom's called Larion. As you're walking along, you hear a noise coming from above. Oh dear God. I'm just gonna hit enter because I don't know what everybody's done in the time that I've read all that other stuff. A whole lot. A whole lot has happened. Harry Longtooth says, as long as there's no silver thing, me is good. You turn around and see Harry Longtooth standing on top of a rock looking down at you. He looks angry. He yells out, I'm not going to let you take my fur. Oh gosh. Silver Black looks up. You look up and see a giant black spider sitting on top of the rock. It slowly crawls across the ground towards you. Silver Black quickly runs away while Batman flies over to try to catch him. Why is Batman trying to catch Silver Black? Where'd the spider come from? Harry Longtooth says, no take fur. You stop running and turn around to face Harry Longtooth. He grabs your arm and pulls you back. I guess he's grabbing Silver Black. Batman flies over to try and catch him, but he disappears before he can do so. Wait, fuck, because Batman was after Silver Black. So Batman's trying to catch Silver Black, who's being chased by a giant spider, but then Harry Longtooth says, don't take my fur, so he grabs Silver Black out of the way, and then Batman's like, where the fuck did Silver Black go? Meanwhile, who's keeping track of where the fucking giant spider is? That's my question. Let's see. Harry Longtooth eats a kid because he likes to eat kids. You scream and fall backwards. A little girl runs over to help you. She screams and falls backwards too. The girl screams, my mommy, my mommy. That's actually kind of funny. I like that it's just a bunch of people literally tripping. Anyways, Silver Black laughs at the girl with an evil grin. You hear a laugh, and then Silver Black flies over to the girl. He can fly now? They fly now? He smiles at her, and she screams again. He laughs even more when he sees Batman fly away. Why is everybody flying? Harry Longtooth throws wings. Oh dear God. You feel like you're floating in the air, and suddenly you realize what just happened. You were eaten by a werewolf. Who was? Harry Longtooth is the werewolf. Suddenly, you feel very weak and dizzy. Bed Tundi uses radiation magic to cure the party. You wake up in a hospital room. You're surrounded by doctors holding instruments and equipment. One of them asks you where you were last night and why you fell asleep. Oh gosh, there's probably so much more shit. Let's see, Drac Valentine said, I'm Silver Black. Oh, Drac is Silver Black. Yo, Drac, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Ryan said, GG, AI can compute faster than Jet. Godzilla said, this is the best fantasy movie ever. How far back am I now? You're at the hospital. Harry Longtooth gets out of werewolf by going into werewolf form and then eating him from the inside. Interesting. You feel very sleepy and tired. You yawn and say, I was sleeping in a cave and I woke up to find myself transformed into a werewolf. I had no idea what happened. The doctor looks at you confused. Shoot the bandits? That's not how transformations work. You nod and explain. They don't. But they did this to me. I'm a werewolf. And they want to make sure my transformation doesn't go wrong. Harry Longtooth says, me want eat shit. You look around and see several people staring at you. You start to panic and say, I want eat shit. Batman's dick says, shit? Batman's dick is big enough for you to eat, but you still need some convincing. You try to convince him by saying, it's not just the size or shape of my dick, it's everything about me. Batman nods and says, yeah, I agree. You're pretty cool too. He then goes back to his own penis. You think about your next move. What do? Gosh, you decide to tell him everything about yourself. You explain that you were born in a village called Baghdad and grew up there. Your parents died when you were young, so your older brother took care of you as he always did. You then tell him that your older sister was killed during an ogre attack. I'm glad they didn't say orgy. Okay. When you were 6 years old, your older brother died and left you alone. Your life changed forever after that day when your younger sister started dating a man named Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy. She didn't like Rolf, and she told you that she wanted to be with someone else. Why the fuck is she dating Rolf? Why not Jimmy? Because Jimmy's a punk. Anyways, your life became much harder after that day. You lost your home, your family, and most importantly, your sister, to that one nigga Rolf. Batman's dick says, ha ha ha! Batman's dick is big enough for you to eat, but you still need some convincing. You try to convince him by saying, "My name is Harley Quinn, and I have no respect for men." The rest of the night passes fairly uneventfully. Bed Tundi says, "Guys, let's go back to reality." Bed Tundi says, "Guys, let's go back to reality." Afterwards, you both return to reality. Jack Slash said, "Lol, what's happening?" Everything. I'm sure I'm behind. I'm sure plenty of shit has happened. Yep. Cool. I will never be able to catch up. Hold on. I just need to start saying that I do shit. Okay, so, searches for the Necromancer Lord. I'm gonna be behind whatever the fuck's actually happening, but at least I can get some plot in. So let me jump back. Where the fuck are we at? Harry Longtooth eats all the shit in the world and feels good. You feel great. You had a really fun time and you enjoyed every minute of it. You even managed to get a little revenge on the ogre that killed your sister. By eating all the shit in the world. I guess you ate his shit. And he was like, "No, not my shit. My name's Rolf the ogre from Ed and Eddie's." Harley Quinn takes you back to her place where she tells you that you can stay if you want or leave. You choose to leave. In the morning, you meet up with other people from your party. One of them is a girl named Eliza. She looks like a cross between a vampire and a succubus. She also seems to be able to turn into animals at will. She asks you if you want to join her in her new hobby. You say yes. Eliza proceeds to take you out into the woods and show you how she can transform into different types of animals. It doesn't seem too dangerous since she isn't actually hurting any of them. By the way, Eliza seems like a really cool character. I kind of like the introduction of Eliza. Just saying. Eliza then shows... Oh, I already read that. Wait, no I didn't. Eliza then shows you how she can transform into humans. This is more dangerous because she can suck your blood first. You don't think this is a very healthy, though, so you decide... Oh, so you decline her invitation. You don't think this is very healthy, though, so you decline her invitation. So she can turn into people, but only when she sucks that blood. Ryan said when Ryan just keeps hitting enter on the AI story... Let's see. You spin the neck. Wait, what the fuck? Ryan, stop. That's why it keeps going. I was wondering, like, people aren't doing actions, but there's so much fucking story. It's because Ryan's just smashing energy, just fucking it up. This is like this YouTube music ad, just fucking up. Oh, goodness. Okay. Goodness. You spend the next few days exploring the countryside and meeting up with other groups of people. Most of them are just as hostile towards you as they were when you first arrived. Some of them give you gifts such as apples or berries, which makes you feel better about yourself. Eventually, you come across an old man sitting by himself. He looks like he's been crying for hours. When you approach him, he gives you a big hug and thanks you for saving his life. He tells you that he was once a mighty warrior known as the Black Knight. They're introducing all these cool characters like Eliza and the Black Knight. Black Knight gave us a hug and thanked us for saving his life. I don't know when we did that. Harry Longtooth eats the Black Knight and then says, "I'm sorry I couldn't save you." Got him. Cool. He says this with tears streaming down his face. It's alright. It's alright. I've had enough of this world. I like this. The Black Knight's like, "Thank you for saving us." And then Humbly's like, "I'm gonna eat you. I'm sorry I couldn't save you." And then he's like, "It's okay. I was ready to take that L." The L for lore. Goodness. Okay, so where the fuck are we at? Where are we at? You stand there looking at him in disbelief. "What do you mean? This world, it's gone mad," he cries, and starts to cry again. That's true. Harry Longtooth consumes the Black Knight. No. We have to stop this madness before we're all killed." He grabs your hand and pulls you away from the man. You turn around and see the Black Knight standing there with the sword in hand. He looks completely different than when you last saw him. His hair is longer, his skin is paler, and he has a long beard growing from his chin. Did you eat the Black Knight? And then did he travel through time? What the fuck happened? Okay, so Drac Valentine said they found my corpse. Guess I'm dead and need a res or something. Drac Valentine, do you have any potions or like magic items? I can try to res you. Remind me of your name. Tell me your name again. I've read so much shit that's just lore. It's been a minute since I've just read somebody's name. Ryan said lore. Also, the Necromancer Lord might be able to bring you back to life. Maybe that's why I can go visit the Necromancer Lord, to find a way to bring you back. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Harry Longtooth says, Om nom 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 nom. The Black Knight swings his sword and cuts your throat. You fall backwards onto the ground. Your body is still twitching slightly, but you don't seem to be dead yet. Oh shit. Harry Longtooth seems to be gooted by Black Knight from the future with a beard, who he ate earlier, who said he was okay with dying, but then it seemed like he felt like the world was going into madness, so I think he changed his mind. Jet searches for the Necromancer Lord. As soon as you die, you hear a voice calling out to you. It sounds very familiar. Did I search for the Necromancer Lord in the afterlife? How the fuck am I dead? Jack Valentine said, Silith Black. He said, I don't mind coming back as an undead lich or a Necromancer Lord. And he said, or the Necromancer Lord can yet. It seems like I'm dead too. So I don't know how much help I can be if I'm dead. I shouldn't be able to die. We have the fucking magical staff. I can't even remember the name of the staff, but the staff that we have is supposed to make us immortal. Unless we lost the staff at some point, because Ryan just keeps hitting enter, so it's just a never-ending stream of bullshit. Where are we at now? Silith Black joins Jet in his search for the Necromancer Lord as well. As like a ghost? Okay, cool. Your corpse is found by two men who were searching for you. They take you back home where they tell their friends about what happened. So we're both dead. We're both just dead. That's cool. Harry Longtooth eats the Black Knight. After a few days, the Black Knight remains are eaten by Harry Longtooth. Join the search also? A few more days pass and you both meet up again. This time you see the Black Knight's head lying on the ground. You look down at it and feel sick to your stomach. This was my brother's head, you said. Who's talking? I'm sorry I couldn't save him. Harry Longtooth is the brother of the Black Knight, who he ate, but then an older version of him showed up, and then they fought, and then he ate him, but he didn't eat his head. And now he's like, that was my brother. I couldn't save him. It's alright, we can eat him too. Awesome. No, we have to go back to the village first. We'll be back later tonight. Yeah, I know. Good night. Join the search also? You're not sure what to do anymore. You've never killed anyone before, let alone someone you knew. But then, this isn't really your life anyway. That seemed kind of interesting. Hey, did you want to join me? A young man with a mohawk asked you. I don't know. Are you Eliza? Where the fuck is Eliza? She was a cool character. Fuck. What, you ask? Me and my friend want to kill Necromancer Lord, he says. Oh, they're back on the plot. They're in the plot again. Where are we at? Godzilla said, I'm God now. He said, I ate God. He said, me and Bed Tundi have combined. We are now Ted Bundy. Drax said, unless you have to enter the staff details into the remember box. Well, the staff was something that the game made up. M. Rockman said, pitch this to Netflix. It would be a pretty crazy Netflix series. Drax said, staff. Okay. Oh, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I could go to remember. Someone went in the remember command and said you are left dead in the snow. And I think that's why everybody's been dying. Because the remember command just remembers us being dead. So, wait a minute. The remember command doesn't even remember the prompt. Someone went into remember? Oh, wait. This isn't remember. This is alter. I was looking at the... Wait, what the fuck? This is remember. Here we go. So let's see. Now I'm looking at the real remember. I'm gonna add to it. The magical staff of Zalos grants its wielders immortality. I'm so behind on literally everything. Where are we at? Uh, I'm like, how can I catch up? How can I catch up to like the never-ending thing? Uh, let's see. Ed Tundy joins the party. Sure, why not, you reply. But you don't have any weapons or anything, he complains. Well, I mean, we could use some help killing stuff, you say. Oh, come on, we need weapons too, he continues to protest. Fine, whatever, you respond. God attacks the planet. You decide to join the hunt. The next day, you and Bed Tundy set off into the woods. You both start talking about your past and how you met each other. God attacks the world using burps, causing earthquakes. The only way to stop him is to kill God. You and Bed Tundy decide to take part in the hunt. Dun, 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 dun. That's interesting. That's a pretty different plot line. Godzilla said this is the best story ever. Ryan said Ted Bundy murdered the AI or something. Drag Valentine said started new. I mean, if you guys want to start a new one, we can start a new one. It's up to you. I just feel like I'm gonna always be behind whatever's happening. Especially since Ryan's like, I'm just hitting enter. I'm just hitting, because that means there's just constant stuff. So there's just no way to really keep up. Because the AI is just gonna keep making stuff. Like I have no way to especially since it doesn't just show me. I think it'd be easier if it was constantly updating me, but it isn't. It only ever updates me when I hit enter. So I just end up not seeing a lot of what happens. So, and also I keep losing my place. I'll like look up to look at the riot chat. Godzilla said read it all first. Then I'll never finish reading. Because if Ryan's still hitting enter, right? How do I ever catch up to the end? And then Godzilla said, stop hitting enter, Ryan. We'd never know if he stopped. What I'll do is I'll read until I get to the end. Because there's a part where the game tried to end itself. So at the part where the game tried to end itself, that's where I'll stop. And then we'll do a new one. Ryan said, I stopped hitting enter. Drax said, lol, if you do this again, maybe have certain people join with passwords. So it used to be a system where you added people, but now they've changed how multiplayer works, and people click on a link in order to join. Drax said, kick Ryan. Well, I would just say in the future, don't just hit enter. Don't just hit, it makes it like impossible to do anything. Godzilla said, okay, I will stop. Oh, Godzilla, were you all? And then Godzilla said, no, not there. That's where I'm stopping there. He said, I want you to end at when I ended. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to end at the end thing, because there's so much more stuff. And if we're just going to start a new thing anyways, might as well just go from there. Plus, this is like the battle against God or whatever, so this seems like it's going to be hype. So I think this is a good place to read. So where are we at? After a few days of hunting, you and Bed Tundy are exhausted from fighting against God's power. Bed Tundy calls upon Cthulhu to fight God. Bed Tundy calls upon Cthulhu, the great old one, to battle God. Cthulhu is very powerful, and he easily defeats God. Cthulhu says, I win. I defeat the Necronomicon Master. Is God the Necronomicon Master? You and Bed Tundy celebrate your victory over God. That was awesome, Bed says. We should do it again sometime. Batman's dick fights God, even though God's already been defeated by this point. Batman said, hey guys, let's go beat up God. You and Batman leave the village and head towards the mountains, where you see a large group of people gathered. They look like they're preparing for war. You notice several men wearing armor holding swords and bows. Batman's dick trains for war. You and Batman train hard, so when you get back to the village, you will be ready for war. The next day, you and Batman head towards the mountains, where you see a large group of people gathering. They look like they're preparing for war. Batman's dick fights in the war. You and Batman prepare yourselves for war. You both feel confident about winning this battle, but then Batman says, what the hell? Suddenly you hear a loud noise followed by an explosion. It sounds like a bomb went off near you. You fall down dead, and the others run away as fast as they can. You don't know what happened, but you die instantly. The end. Godzilla said, no, I'm God now. He said, I want you to end when I am God. He said, I ate God and became God. Well, Godzilla, look at all this. Look at all this. and then I hit enter, right? Look at all this. Look at all this extra shit. And then I hit enter. Because it's gonna keep going. There's just all this stuff that happened. So too much stuff. Let's start a new one. We only have a few more minutes to start a new one, but I think if we do start a new one, we'll be able to actually maybe like play it and read it together and stuff. It'll probably be fun. Here we go. So here's the new link. We only have a few minutes to play. Let's try to make the most out of these few minutes. Our story begins with a group of adventurers living in the medieval kingdom of Larion. The kingdom is filled with small villages and thatched cottages, and has been relatively peaceful until now. The adventurers are on a quest to find the magical staff of Zalos. They walk through the forest and notice a band of mountain dwarves. The dwarves are friendly and offer them food and drink. And one of the dwarves turns to them, and the adventurer's eyes widen as he realizes what's happening. But they don't run or scream or help, because they know it isn't safe to do so. He knows this because he saw his friend get killed by an orc just moments before. Godzilla said, okay. Drax says, reminds me of an AI story I had where I rebelled and usurped God as Lilith. Interesting. So I'm going to look for orcs. You decide to go back into the woods where you first heard the noise. You quickly follow your instincts and see some orcs standing around a campfire. The orcs are drinking beer when suddenly a giant lizard-like creature leaps out from behind their fire and attacks them. Let's see, I'm gonna say... Oh shit. Godzilla enters the scene. You run over to the orcs and try to talk to them. Unfortunately, they aren't listening to you, and instead, they all start attacking Godzilla, who easily dodges their attacks. Kanye suggests to help the orcs. Kanye suggests that you should help the orcs instead. You agree, and Jet fly over the orcs camp. There you see several people tied up and gagged, but not dead yet. Jet says, oh shit. You land near the orcs, and Jet says, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, this is bad, I can feel it. I think we need to leave right now. We're gonna die here if we stay here. Let's go. I think the AI is literally like, Jet is a jet, like a jet airplane, and Godzilla is literally Godzilla, because it mentions me like flying, and it mentions like them getting attacked by a giant lizard or whatever. So it's getting weird. This one's getting weird even faster than before. I'm gonna untie the orcs. Godzilla said this is already chaotic. Agreed. Let's see, Godzilla breathes fire at the orcs. You fly over to Godzilla, and then Jet turns around and attacks the orcs. You both attack the orcs together, and you both hit each other. Jet unties the orcs. You both fly away from the orcs, and Jet unties the orcs. The two of you fly off towards the mountains. You soon arrive at a large mountain range, which looks like there might be another village nearby. Okay. I'm going to explore the nearby village. Drax said, alter it from fly to run. We're so many, like, steps deep now. I don't know. I'm fine with flying at this point. Godzilla said, I'm Godzilla. Drax said, alter. Godzilla said, I'm the giant lizard. I'm aware. We can all choose to not fly if we don't want to. Kanye calls out to the villager. You call out to the villager, and then Jet flies over to him. You both land near the villagers, and Jet says, hey, look what I found. Jet explores the nearby village. You both fly over to the nearby village, and Jet explores it. You find that there are many people living there, including a young girl. She seems very happy about your visit, though she doesn't seem to know much about monsters or aliens. Ask the young girl to join the party. She doesn't know much about monsters and aliens, but maybe she's secretly like some kind of great warrior. Kaylee said, Ayo, yo K-Leg, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy today? Discussion topics you like to talk about on the stream. We're actually going to end the stream like in the next few minutes or so, but if you want to join in, feel free to click that link while you can. Let's see. Godzilla eats some orcs like strawberries. You both fly over to the orc camp, and then Jet eats some orcs. You both fly back to land near villagers again. Godzilla attacks the nearby village that Jet is in. You both fly over to the orc camp, and then Jet attacks the nearby village. You both attack the villagers and kill most of them. However, you don't get far when Godzilla arrives. Batman fights crime. Batman flies over to the village, and then Jet flies over to the criminals who are hiding in trees. He attacks them all while Batman flies around fighting crime. Kanye uses sound mage powers to soothe the villagers. You both fly over to the village, and then Jet uses your magic abilities to soothe the villagers. You both fly back to the village where you land near the villagers again. Sylph Black, a novice necromancer, Sylph Black, suddenly walks out of a tent in the village to see what's going on. You both fly over to the village, and then Jet goes into a tent in the village. You look at each other, and then Jet warps out of there as well. You land near villagers again. Jet asks the young girl to join the party. You both fly over to the village, and then Jet asks the girl if she wants to join you for dinner. That's not what I said. She says yes. The next day, you all head off on your own adventure. The AI stuck in a weird loop where it's like you both fly over to this place, and then Jet does whatever you tried to do, and then you go back to the village, and you're next to some villagers. So the AI is definitely broken at the moment. Ask the girl what she wants for dinner. Batman fights crime. You fly all over the village, and then Jet flies over to the criminals who are hiding in the trees. You attack them all while Batman flies around fighting crime. You both attack the villagers and kill most of them. However, you don't get far when Godzilla arrives. Godzilla burns the town. You all fly over to the village, then Jet flies over to the criminals who are hiding in the trees. You attack them all while Batman flies around fighting crime. You both attack the villagers and kill most of them. However, you don't get far when Godzilla arrives. Sylph Black, a novice necromancer, renames Sylph Black. You both fly over to the village, and then Jet renames Sylph Black Zalmora, which means shadow in his language, and makes him a wizard instead of a necromancer. Batman kicks criminals in the shin. Batman flies up and kicks several criminals in their shins, causing them to fall down. He also punches some more. Meanwhile, you Jet name Sylph Black Dolores, which means beautiful in his language, and make her a fighter instead of a thief. They're like Jet's just changing names and classes. Just back and forth. Dun-dun-dun. Where are we at? Godzilla said, can we restart? It's doing something. Yeah, it's definitely stuck in a loop. Ryan said, take a shot every time Jet flies over to the village. Jack said, Jet hasn't put in the remember box a description of himself, hence why it thinks he can fly, I think. I think it thinks I can fly because my name's Jet. It's like making me like a jet airplane. Sadly, it is 9 p.m., so I am going to be ending the stream. But I would like to thank you all for tuning in. This has been pretty wild. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. There's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Thank you guys once again, and make sure you guys check out my video, These Superheroes Do Not Exist. It's a project I'm working on with John Mason. Thank you all once again, and peace. Check it again.